Good evening, everybody. Welcome to NorCal Sports Network. Dan Coachimilio along with Eric Romo. We may be having Los in the house tonight, not sure. But the Giants take one on the chin today, and boy, did they take it on the chin. 4-2, or excuse me, 5-1. Got noise in my, it's weird. I got my phone playing, and it's coming through my headsets. It picks up everything.
Your mic's picking it up.
Man. All right. So I got myself confused. 5-1. Giants almost shut out. They don't get their second hit until the ninth inning on another Wilmer Flores home run. But the offense was just silent. I believe the only other hit was Luis Matos.
Matos
hit
with the double.
And so, man, the Giants facing new guys for the first time. They just do not hit him. I can't tell you the last time that the Giants faced a guy that they just jumped on that was like a rookie pitcher or new pitcher, whatever, that they'd never seen. It just like goes without saying they are going to struggle.
And you're in a bandbox. How many times do we talk about Cincinnati? It's a bandbox. You should be hitting at least 2 home runs a game, not 2 hits.
Yeah.
And think about this. In 2 games, they've only scored 3 runs in 2 games in Cincinnati. That's not acceptable in that. Yesterday they had 2 runs. Today they had 1 run.
And then the game they won, the first game was a 4-2 game. Yeah. I mean, this team is not hitting the ball. Let's welcome in Los.
Let's do it.
Who joins us.
What's up, Los?
Hello, boys.
Hey.
I feel weird tonight because I'm using like substandard equipment after being at the VIP place last night.
That's funny.
Oh man. Oh, we got Buster joining us tonight down in the let's see if we can get the my camera is stuck somewhere. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I gotta get the camera loose. There's Buster. Oh, he's going to take off now.
Yep, there he is.
That's the man right there.
There he is.
Good
the
boy.
King of the castle right there.
Yeah, Buster.
Wait. Hey, Dan, did I see a tambourine?
Yeah, that's my wife's.
I was going to say, you're going to have to bust that out when the Giants win.
Yeah, I could. She can play. She's got some rhythm with it.
Cool.
I do not. Yeah, I like it when she plays it and I can bangs it off her hips, boom. Yeah.
Kumbaya.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Los was in the house last night. Had some lumpia and some adobo. She threw on the hey, Los, you missed I almost brought him out last night, but I thought let's do Filipino. I made me a really nice filet mignon tonight on the barbecue. Dang, that was good.
Los is like, man, I wish I came today instead of yesterday.
No, you know what? I love Filipino food, and I got it all the time in the Bay Area, so I don't eat it here very often. So I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
Really quick, a lot of people are talking about this. I don't know if you saw it, Los. I haven't heard the whole interview. Might want to catch it on KMBR.
Yeah.
Guess Farhan was interviewed and had some, of course, Farhanian things to say. So basically, the way it sounded like on the clip that they played that I heard was he thinks that the starting rotation's getting stronger and is ready for the run. Yeah. So
why can't he just be straight up and honest?
I don't know, man.
Well, they're going to have to do something. They need to, I've been looking at this. Let's just recap the game today. Let's do that. Take about 38 seconds because there was zero action offensively. I don't even know. Did they even put a runner? Well, oh yeah, Flores got thrown out at the plate today. That was sick. I mean, gosh,
slowest guy in baseball.
Yeah. But I'm trying to remember if they actually had any other. Let me just take a look at the box score. I don't think they had anybody in scoring position.
I'm not even going there.
12 hits to 2. if you look at their whole I mean, there was just nothing. Nothing went on. Nothing. I mean,
I tell you what, here's another thing I heard as I was going through the drive-through, getting a nice chocolate milkshake. Susan Slusser was on with FP, and they were talking about, I guess Cobb was complaining about maybe having some grip issues because of the humidity and blah, blah. I was like, the Reds pitcher didn't have an issue with no humidity on his baseball, so what the hell's going on here? It's just excuses. I hate hearing that shit.
Yeah, they just
Logan. Yes, I can outrun Wilmer. Go
ahead.
Oh, I can outrun. Definitely.
I can't anymore. But oh man, my back.
Now, would I have beat a throw from De La Cruz? Probably not. That he's got some heat, huh?
Yeah.
99.
His physical tools are just off the charts. Off the charts. That kid is just going to get better. What do we got there, Eric? We got a shake?
Oh, no. Yeah, they're saying shake from where? Mickey D's.
There you go. So, no action today. They get 2 hits, one of them coming in the 9th inning. They just were flat. But take a look at the lineup. I mean, you basically get past Slater and Flores and you're facing a lefty. It's pretty tough. I mean, you got Matos basically that can hit. Bailey's coming back to earth. He's hitting down to 270, not hitting much from the right side. Jock's doing nothing. He's down to 232. David VR, what are we doing? David VR? 151. Casey Schmidt, 217. Brett Wisely, 189. Marty hit it last night, the nail on the head. This is the Sacramento River Cats. Man, if you've got a lefty right now, just throw a lefty against the Giants and neutralize them. And this is the problem they had earlier in the year. Remember, we were saying all the teams had to do is throw lefties, and then they got Haniger back. And, hey, they need to do something like yesterday on the shortstop situation. I love Casey Schmidt out there, but defensively, but I'd rather see him probably playing second and get a shortstop in there with Crawford out, get a veteran that can have some pop. I don't know what you can do. There's also the option. Didi Gregorius is with the Seattle Mariners AAA club. He got picked up in June. He was playing in Mexico League, was hitting 359 down there. Not doing a whole lot right now at AAA, but he is a veteran, and he might stabilize the team a little bit. He can play short, play second. You could have him for a song and a dance, I'm sure. I mean, he's not on the 40-man roster. If the Giants gave up just a prospect, I mean, we've already given them Prelander Baroa for Donovan Walton. They should at least give us something back for that because they stole Baroa. So would
it be a panic move or a smart move to just see what Luciano can do right now?
Oh,
I know he just went up to AAA, but people have gone straight from AA to the big leagues and done well.
Yeah, tonight he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
But he may be. Yeah, he could be up. He could be up here in a week. He could be just to
shake it up.
Trade bait.
Shake it up. I don't know. It's really interesting. But the Giants need to. I want to tell you something. I watched the Baltimore Orioles take on the Blue Jays tonight in a really good game for first place. They were tied going into this 4-game series, playing in Tampa Bay. Baltimore was up 3-1. The Rays tied it in the, I believe it was the 7th inning, 2-run double, 3-3. Anyway, it goes into extra innings. Some great defensive plays by both teams in the 9th inning. In the 10th, Baltimore comes up first. You got your man on second. What do you think Baltimore did, Los? What do you think they did first guy up?
Double.
No, they played small ball. They played for the run. They bunted him over.
They
Next
bunted.
guy
They
up.
actually bunted.
Next guy up, sack fly. They take the lead. When you're on the road, you have to score at least one. You want to try and get two, but most teams that I've watched always play for two and many times don't get the run in at all because the first guy is a non-productive out. He strikes out, he grounds out to the left side, pops up, bunt him over and get him in. Now you have the advantage because you're ahead by one. The other team is forced to score. And if you got a really good pitcher like they had Batista on the mound, he was able to strike out a Razorina. He was able to get it. The next guy got a double play. It was Lowe hit into a double play. Boom. How many times have you ever seen Kapler on the road play in extra innings, just try and get the one run? I mean, they have won some games on the road, the Giants, because they've scored multiple runs but when you're playing a really good team, that's like a playoff game. Baltimore, Tampa, that's a playoff game. You bunt. And I don't know if the Giants would ever do that.
Didn't Kapler say in an interview he doesn't believe in giving up outs, more or less? I mean, it's old school baseball, but when you have a dominant closer like Doval, maybe all you need is one run to push.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he
situational.
Situational.
Exactly what we've been saying all along.
Yeah.
But they don't believe in that either.
He's practicing the Earl Weaver approach of a 3-run homer all the time.
Yeah. So I thought it was really good baseball. Graves makes a good point. It is such, depends on who you have up in that lineup. I'd have to go back and look at the box score on that, but it was. Let's see what else tonight. Astros beating the A's 3-1. Brewers beat the Phillies 4-0. Blue Jays beat the Padres 4-0. White Sox beat the Mets. Okay, that's good. Mets go down again. Let's see them sell. And the Orioles beat the Rays, as I mentioned, 4-3. That was. Let's see how that played out in the 10th inning. Who it was that laid down the bunt? It was Frazier hit for.
Stop your search for the one and find your perfect match.
What was that noise?
Sorry, that was my ad.
Oh,
I killed it.
Oh, okay. That was what, an ad?
Yeah, I'm on NBC Sports Area.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, I wonder, is that yeah, that is Frazier. Okay. Let me see where he was batting in the lineup.
We also have to remember, guys, as far as situational baseball goes, the Giants strike out just about more than any team in the league. So even if you do it by the book and you get the guy to third base and it's less than 2 outs, what they do more times than not. They're not getting that run in, probably less than 50%.
Well, yeah, they don't. And
so that might be Gabe's thinking is I don't have a contact hitting team. I have a swing for the fences team.
True. That's true. And also, today they sent Flores, who got thrown out at the plate by De La Cruz. It would have been second and third, 2 out, but Peterson was coming up next against the lefty. So it's like you almost had to send Flores because Jock hasn't done nothing. Doesn't matter if he's facing a lefty or righty or a T-ball. I mean, Jock has not been hitting. It's really hard to watch. Even Mitchell and Ness says Jock and VR unwatchable. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because that
kid Meckler, he's a right-hander.
Lefty.
Left.
He's a lefty. Okay.
I read an article on him yesterday. In fact, I meant to send that to you guys. About how he's had to overcome so much, just coming to Oregon State, getting cut, and then getting put back on the team as the 35th man. And then they had to day before they started in his sophomore year. They had to cut him again, or he was the odd man out, and he's just fought and fought and fought. The guy's a hitting machine.
Yeah.
He says, you know what his approach is? I've never heard this before. He says if he doesn't get 3 hits in a game, he didn't have a good game.
Oh, I love the high expectations.
So 2 for 4 is not a good game for him.
Wow, I like that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Giants need more guys like that. Just, guys that put the ball in play, make contact, and get that guy in from third in less than 2 outs. At this point right now, I don't want to see Villar up here anymore. He's had, 4 chances up here. He's just not figuring it out. I'd like to see one of the other kids up.
Yeah, I mean, and nothing against any of these guys. They're great guys.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. We're just talking about the performance. Yeah,
performance-wise, you got to put up or shut up. I mean, VR is this is the you're officially. I mean, it's not like pennant race, dog days of summer yet, but we're getting close. Dog days start in August, right?
Yep.
So
that's where it really gets rough.
Yeah,
they've given Villar a lot longer leash than they have Ramos.
Ramos has 46 at bats in his entire career. Longer
leash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I would rather have Ramos or Bart up here as a right-handed bat. I mean, one thing about Bart, how about this? You could put Bart at first base and move Flores to third when you want him in the lineup and give JD a rest, and or just have Bart give Bailey a rest. Bailey's gonna need to not play every day, and against a left-handed pitcher, I'd rather see Bart in there probably than Bailey, just because Bailey doesn't hit that great from the right side, and he needs a day off now and then. I love him behind the plate. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's throwing guys out left and right. He threw 2 guys out today. One was on a ball that got away, and he ran it down and scrambled, got up and threw him out. He threw De La Cruz out trying to steal. He's unbelievable. But he's also got to get some breaks. Remember, everybody, what did I tell you guys? That he's going to hit probably 260 tops?
Yeah.
He's down to 270 right now, and he's sinking. He's not going to hit. I bet he doesn't. I'd be shocked if he hit over 250 by the end of the year. Hope he does, but that's not what he's there for. And they got him batting 4th today. Patrick Bailey, I'm sorry. He's a
6-7 hitter. He's a 6-7 hitter.
I think he's more. Yeah, he's a 6 to. Really, he can be anywhere in the 6 to 8.
7
range.
to 9.
6 to 8 range is Bailey. You don't. I mean, he's come up with some big hits, but if that's your guy, if that's your cleanup hitter, something seriously got to change. Because,
you know what, Eric, look up how many RBIs Bailey has and how many at bats he does. I bet you he's pretty close to Jock, and Jock has quite a few more at bats.
Probably.
So that's probably why Bailey is. You're right. He's not a 3 or he's not a 4 hitter, but he has more clutch hits.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
At this point right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when Crawford was healthy, it's not like he was on fire with the bat. Yeah, he came through with a couple of key hits, but it's not like he's on fire. Same thing with Conforto. He gets key hits, but he's batting 250. So it's just
so the game is on the line, and you have a man at third, less than 2 outs.
Who do you want up to bat?
Right
now, Flores.
No matter who's pitching. Yeah, I was going to say Flores is probably your number 1 option. I mean, he's cool, but that should not be the answer.
But here's the issue. We come back to this all the time, it seems, is we said in the beginning of the season that if this team isn't healthy, they're going to struggle. And we're seeing it right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't hit at all when they're – this is a team that needs it needs Estrada. It needs some pop, whether that's Haniger. I mean, you're missing Estrada and Haniger from the right side right now. From the left side, Crawford's out, but he hasn't done much hitting wise, but they need somebody in that lineup that can, make it move, move the line, and somebody. I mean, they talked about power. This team, Conforto leads the team with 13 home runs.
Yeah, that's not power.
I'll bet you. You know what? How can we do this? How can we pull up every team? I'll bet you that is. I'm going to pull up some stats right now. I guess I would go to ESPN. I'll pull up stats of every team, and I'll bet you just how many teams do you think their team leader has less than 13 home runs? I have no idea, but I'm going to guess there's not more than 2 teams whose leader has less than 13 home runs on the team.
Maybe the A's are the only
A's.
one.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look. Teams.
Take a look at the A's. So just see who's leading the A's in home runs.
All right,
Rooker.
we'll start right here at the. You want to go
Rooker.
National League or American League?
It doesn't matter.
All right, I forgot to share the screen. Hold on, sorry. All right, this will be interesting. All right, we'll start in the National League. Chicago. 17, Wisdom.
Okay,
All
there
right.
you go. There's Chicago.
There's 1. Let's go to Cincinnati. Well, we know Cincinnati doesn't. Somebody's already got. Well, we don't really know. I don't know who their leader
Check
is.
it out.
Fraley.
14, India. Okay.
Oh, India. That's surprising.
Wow.
There's 2. Milwaukee. 16, Adamas.
Adamas.
Okay. Pittsburgh.
Sawinski.
Zelensky,
Yep.
19. Okay,
Sawinski.
4. St. Louis,
Arenado.
21.
Yep.
All right, so we're going down this list. Atlanta, we don't even need to look.
Matt Olson.
Yeah, Olson's 30.
Miami, I bet it's Soler. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yep,
24.
24. Okay. The Mets, that's an interesting one. Do they? Oh, probably Alonso.
Alonso for sure.
26. Okay, so far, nobody, right?
Nobody.
That's a power hitter.
Okay, Philadelphia,
Schwarber.
Yep.
26.
Well, here we go. And then the Nats, maybe.
Could have had. No, I think they got the center fielder. What's his name? Lane Thomas. I think he has like 15.
Logan Thomas.
And there, Candelario.
15, and Thomas has 15. Okay, so they got 2 guys with 15. All right, here we go. Let's see. It could be nobody, guys. Arizona, I know Walker's got 20 or close to it. Yeah, 20. There it is. Okay. We don't have to look at the Dodgers.
Dodgers
the Rockies.
Have got like 20 guys who got over 20.
Rockies, 15. McMahon. That's a guy I would like to have.
Take a look at the Dodgers, the next one. Take a look at how many guys are hitting over 20 home runs.
Well, Betts has got 27. Freeman, 17. Martinez, 23. Muncy, 22. Will Smith down there at 13. And Chris Taylor, 12, with only 178 at bats.
Yeah.
And how many bats does Conforto have? I mean, oh my goodness, this is awful. There's no way. Forget it. Ohtani isn't coming to San Francisco. Forget it. Forget it.
He's like
I've been saying, they got nobody to hit behind him. He would be walked.
Well, not only that, but it's not a home run. I mean, they can't hit home runs in their park.
You know what? Honestly, if you look this stat up about 30 games ago, Conforto and Peterson would have been up there. They just both have not done nothing in the last month.
San Diego, Machado, 18. Soto and Tatis, 17. Okay, so nobody in the National League. They're worst in the National League. Let's go to the American League. I can almost guarantee you. I know that the White Sox, the center fielder, has like 20-something. Luis Roberts. Let's see. 28. 28.
Yeah,
get that dude.
Those guys also play every day too. We got our platoon system here.
360.
Another reason.
All right. So We're going
It's
through
okay,
this.
Adam. It's therapy.
I
So
thought
many
it was.
Debbie Downers and negative Nancy's in this channel.
I thought I was going to say nobody, but I didn't have the guts to do it. So I was going to say there's 2 teams, maybe the A's. Okay, Detroit, 14, Torkelson. They're barely beaten. Hey, did we even look at the Giants? I thought it was 13.
No, we didn't look at the
let's
Giants.
just double check. Yeah, 13. Conforto.
Hold on, let me see the RBIs. Let's see.
47 for Davis. Conforto, 51. Yaz, 30. Sable
35. Flores,
Crawford,
30.
26.
Jock
Peterson 32. Bailey has 29.
Okay, hold it right there. Peterson has 32 RBIs with 198 bats. Oh, okay. Bailey's catching up. He's got 159. Okay, I thought it was a bigger difference than that.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Bailey comes through more in the clutch.
Yeah, but hey, Peterson's getting paid $19 million. Bailey's getting paid the league minimum.
Exactly. Yeah. Peterson is
all right. So who we on?
You
we
left
did
off on the Guardians. No. Kansas City.
Detroit. We did Detroit, right?
Yeah, it was Torkelson.
16, Bobby Witt. I can't even see what the chat's saying because I'm not looking. What are they saying over there about this?
Nothing big. Oh, Robert, talk about homers aren't the biggest thing. Whatever.
Of course. I'm just trying to tell you that this is a team that they said would lead the league.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They said that in the beginning. They're going to have – how many guys are going to hit over 20, they said?
Gallo, that's a guy that the Giants could have had too. They could have had Gallo. They could have had Bellinger. They could – okay, so Baltimore –
Definitely.
We know that Baltimore has somebody. Yep, Santander.
17.
I bet you they got some other guys over
Santander.
15 too. Yep, Henderson. And
weren't the Giants at one point as a team like one of the team leaders in home runs?
Oh, for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
But right now they're middle of the pack, right? As a team, give or take.
Well, we'll look at that here. Let's see. Boston, Devers.
Look at Yoshida. Man, get the Japanese players to San Francisco.
Look at Justin Turner.
Yoshida.
Justin Turner, 15 home runs. He's like 38 years old, and the Giants. Yep. Okay.
How many home?
So Yankees. I mean, Judge has got more than probably. He's got 19, and he doesn't even play. When's the last? I mean, how many?
He hasn't played in a month. He's only got 175 at bats. Let's go back to Conforto's at bats. How many at bats? I bet he's over 200. 283. 283.
Yaz is down to 237.
Okay, so is it going to be the A's or are the A's going to top? Okay, so we got New York, Tampa.
I think Rooker has
Ariz Arena's got to have close to 20.
Siri's
got 19. How many's Ariz Arena got? 17. Okay.
Look at
let's
that
see what
lineup.
happened. I just got notification first pitch. Okay, no, that's something Sacramento. Okay.
Look at that Tampa lineup. Look at those bombs consistently. That is a balanced lineup.
Yep.
That is a
balanced
lineup.
How many more teams do we got? We've only got Toronto. We know Guerrero has more.
Real quick, how many does Belt have?
16 for Bichette. Guerrero hit one today. 13 for Springer. Guerrero has 15. Chapman 12. Belt has 6. Okay, so far we've got 5 teams left, and we know Shohei. We can eliminate Anaheim because he's got like 35. Houston. Did we look at Houston yet? No. 17 Alvarez, and then 14 for Tucker. Okay, so we're getting down to the last 2 or 3 teams. We don't need to look at the Angels. Let's save the A's for last as for drama. 16 for Hernandez. Rodriguez has 13. Suarez 14. Okay, so far. And then
yes,
Texas.
Robert, pitching and defense is imperative. And you know what? The Giants are the worst in defense.
We know Texas has over guys. Look at Garcia. They got a couple
Yeah.
guys, I bet, that got close to 20. Seager's got to have. Jung's got 19. Seager's.
That's a rookie year too. His rookie year, Young.
Where's Seager?
Seager's got 14. He was out for like a month and a half.
Oh, that's
with the
right. Yeah.
hamstring.
All right. So here we go. Is it the A's or the Giants
Rooker.
at the worst in baseball?
Rooker's got more.
He probably does. Yes, the Giants are the worst in home runs as far as individual.
Yeah, it's an individual. Yeah.
Individual, they have the lowest individual home. That's why I say you're not getting. Why would you? Who's coming? Who's going to protect Ohtani in that lineup?
Nobody. Not right now.
Man, oh man, I didn't realize it was that bad.
That's why the front office can't do that.
Wow. I mean, Jock is having a crappy year. Look at the year he's having, his stats. If I pull up Peterson's stats, I think he's sitting at eight home runs.
Everyone say, what's the point of this?
The point of this is they can't hit home runs. I mean, Flores is probably close to the team lead, 12, yeah. And he's only had 209 at bats. Look at that. They got 12, 11, 11, 13, 11. They got a group of guys that are in double digits, but is nobody going to hit? Oh, my goodness. You know what this means? This means that if they don't, if Conforto doesn't get going and get to like 25 jacks, if he's in the 20, he may just opt back in.
Probably.
And then you got the same team, which
that's what they'll do.
Which is, I don't know. I mean, are we gonna do the whole thing again with the Yaz and Slater? I mean, and Haniger and Conforto outfield. I mean, then you got Matos. I don't know. I just I want to see Von Brown push his way in soon. I think Von Brown gets called up to AAA in the next 2 weeks. He's like 2 weeks behind because he was injured. He was 2 weeks behind Luciano. Here's the thing, guys. I got to thinking about this earlier today. If you start moving guys through, there's a lot of motivation that guys are moving up in the system fast. And
competition is good.
And if you're moving guys up, you're also creating some stir, and you're creating, some guys that look like, hey, they're one step away. They're in AAA. They're ready to. We could trade for that guy. He's ready to, come right up. So I just think that this is a, we talked about it from day one. They can compete if they're healthy. Now you see what just losing Wade and Davis from the lineup the last two games. It just, at some point, I mean, the attrition rate is going to destroy these guys because no team can withstand all the injuries like this. It just gets to the point. That's why, I don't know. I just like, I don't know what they're going to do because they're fortunate.
Team.
They're fortunate they've got 4 games with, some not so good teams coming up. Well, 6. Their next 6 games are all winnable. 3 in Washington, 1 in Detroit, and 2 against the A's at home. So they should be able to at least go 4-2 in those 6, but they've got to, and you hope they can go 5-1 or even win them all. But Wade is a key piece, and Davis, but they've got to get. they've got to get something shored up in the middle of the infield. What do you guys think they need to do there?
I mean, they're a strange team if you really analyze them, because what is their identity? Like, let's just break them down. Like, they do not hit for great power. They do not have team speed. They do not hit well with runners in scoring position or men at third. They have 2 good starters and 3 below average starters. They have a fantastic bullpen. And I mean, kudos to them. Like, they have a lot of, like, on the surface, kind of negative. Oh, and their defense is one of the worst defenses in the league, right? Facts.
Right.
I mean, we're not being Debbie Downers. We're just pointing out, like, the team's strengths and weaknesses. That's more weaknesses than strengths. And yet here they are, 12 games over 500. So kind of kudos to them for winning despite not having all those things that they need. But I think they just need to answer your question, Dan, I think they need to just get more athletic. They're a station-to-station team, and speed travels, road, at home, no matter what ballpark it is. You get a guy at first that has –
you got Flores. You had Flores on first today.
Yeah.
No, speed is true. I mean, they don't have much speed. I guess their speed is what? Matos and Slater and Slater and Yaz.
Well,
and Slater and Yaz they can't run full speed.
Exactly.
Because of their hamstrings.
Yep.
And Conforto is kind of in that boat too. I mean,
so Conforto and Peterson are your power guys because they don't give you speed, and then they're not giving you power. Like, that's why the lineup is so up and down and not consistent with scoring. I mean, you're right. Cincinnati is about as good a hitter's park as there is. So, man, if you're going to struggle in that ballpark when you get back home, I don't know. But like I said, they've been finding ways to win. Got to give them that. But they need to do something, because I just think they're kind of they're playing average right now, and they need to pick it up if they want to make a run.
What kind of trades would you try and go along around like the fringe, or would you try to go out of the box and do something? Forget Ohtani right now, because I don't see that happening. But what type of deal is out there that could be made with let me give you an idea what I was looking at today. And then I started thinking about it, and I says, no, I don't like that deal. I started thinking Luciano, because I started thinking, what do the Mets have at shortstop? They have Lindor, and I started thinking Harrison and Lindor. And then I started seeing, no, that's too long of a contract for a guy that's not producing. So I said, I don't want that. I'm not giving up that. But I thought, San Diego, I don't think San Diego would do it, but I would trade Luciano and Harrison and one or two other prospects, major leaguers. I'd give up like a Slater.
Schmidt.
I'd give up 4 or 5 guys to have Tatis, because now I got my right-handed shortstop that's signed. And then I want to play him in the outfield. I can play him in the outfield. He gives me power. He gives me speed.
And he's young.
And I just don't think San Diego would do it. But I think it's worth asking, because San Diego's a mess. And what are they going to do? Are they going to let Soto just walk? Or are they going to try and build around? I mean, you can't build around all 4 of those guys plus Cronenworth and their pitching and stay relevant for very long. You know what I'm saying?
I would go, to answer the question, I would go a little out of the box, and I would get on the phone and call the White Sox, and I would want 2 guys, not just one. We keep talking about, let's just get one guy. Because remember, the Giants in the past have done some trades with the White Sox where they got multiple players and they all contributed. So I'm going all in. I'm calling the White Sox GM and says, what do you want for Giolito and Luis Robert? What do you want for him? What prospects do you want? And see what they can give. Mm-hmm. If they do that, put Robert in center, put Matos in left, Giolito stabilizes the rotation. And hey, some of these fringe guys like Slater and other guys that might get pushed down. Oh well. Robert is a proven commodity and play him every day. And Giolito stabilizes the rotation. That instantaneously will make them better. Because we keep talking. We've talked for weeks about just trading for one guy. There's no rule that says that we can't get two guys from one team.
Right.
And if it's the Tigers,
I was thinking that too.
Eduardo Rodriguez, I love him, and he's a lefty. I'm just trying to think what position player could the Tigers offer. I'm not a Torkelson fan. I don't want a 220.
Yeah, well, Torkelson, I talked to a guy from Detroit today who's, said they're going to build around Torkelson and Riley Green. They're not getting rid of Torkelson. That's kind of their future. But they would like to get rid of Javi Baez's contract, who's signed for like 3 more years after this year. And that, I mean, Scott Harris is the general manager there who was, with the Giants for 2 years. He didn't sign Baez. You could probably get Baez for practically nothing, but that could, he's a veteran. He's flashy, but he's not very reliable. He's inconsistent. There's not a lot of great shortstops. I'm shocked. When I looked at the teams that are not in contention, there's really not any shortstops that are. Tim Anderson with the White Sox is available. Probably, maybe DeJong.
Dan, you're forgetting. Look what Rothberg said. That's all the Giants have to do. Problem solved. There's no reason to talk about all this because he's totally convinced that if the Giants stand pat, they're conceding nothing. There we go.
Yeah.
No, there's no reason to talk about this.
I didn't understand what there was a comment earlier by what is it? I don't know what Senior meant by this. Man, I hope the Giants and Farhan don't play like this. They're going to win the World Series this year. It's time to what?
He lost. You can't. He probably ran out of characters.
I don't know what he was trying to say.
His first sentence doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
This is the second part right here.
Okay. It's about 24, not this year. I agree with you that they should be not getting rid of prospects unless, the only reason I would get rid of any really top prospects is if I got a superstar in return that was signed, like Tatis. But I don't think Padres are going to do that. So they're probably going to build around Tatis because he's the youngest star they have. But there was some talk last year of some real frustration with Tatis from the Padres management because what he not only got hurt physically doing something, but then he did the steroids and they were getting tired of his immaturity, so to speak. And I think there may be something to that with what's going on with the Padres, because they do not gel together, and I don't understand it, but I think he would be a guy I would be. I love his game.
If they call the Cardinals, then seeing that 2-player deal, then they can go after Jordan Montgomery and DeJong at shortstop.
Again,
going
there's
after
another
2 guys.
Exactly. Yeah, I had even thrown out 3, getting Jordan Hicks, in the deal because he's a free agent reliever. But those a lot of these things are like long shots. Like I said, I don't see the Padres trading Tatis, but it doesn't hurt to inquire. I don't know if Farhan has those talks, but you know, I don't know what other shortstop is out there that is available. That DeJong's probably and Tim Anderson are about it that are veterans. I mean, you could go get a Didi Gregorius, as I mentioned earlier, for nothing. He's in AAA, but that doesn't move the needle a whole lot. You cannot count on Brent. Here's the thing. If Crawford's knee flares up, let's say you're getting right into the playoffs and that knee flares up and he's not available, your season's probably done.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't have all these rookies that are not hitting well. I love Schmidt's defense. But he's really doing what Matt Williams was doing his first year or two in the big leagues, swinging at everything and missing. So.
And if you do trade for a shortstop right now, a plug-in for this year and maybe next year, you're just kind of holding Luciano back unless you're considering Luciano goes to the outfield, which is a log jam already as it speaks. I think Luciano has more value at short than in the outfield. I think that's where he would like to play. So if you do put all your chips to the table and go for it this year and get a shortstop, then Luciano's just held back even more. And do we want that long term?
Yeah. I mean, their shortstop situation, they drafted like 4 shortstops in this draft.
Yeah, they did.
And I think, and then they got this kid Arteaga that's their number 7 prospect who's a couple years away. It would not surprise me to see them move a guy like Arteaga in a deal because you've got all these shortstops that are going to be coming up, and it looks like the kid Martin that they drafted the high school, he's probably 4 years away, but they've got a couple of college guys they drafted that might be able to get here in 2.5 years, 2 to 3 years possibly. So it'll be interesting. I mean, Luciano right now is penciled in as the shortstop. Depends on how the back holds up and all that, but his AA manager was saying he was looking pretty good down there, making all the plays. So we'll see. But after watching the Orioles tonight, and I saw what the Astros did in their rebuild, and you see what the Orioles are doing in their rebuild, and you see some other teams that Tampa Bay that brings up a lot of guys, I have no problem with the Giants trying to make the playoffs, but don't give up the prospects that you feel are going to be ready to be up on this team in the next year or so, because Baltimore just keeps bringing up new guys, and the Giants have brought up a ton of guys this year, but not all of them are what you would call ready.
Mm-hmm.
Wisely's not a true, he's not a guy. VR is practically a rookie. He's not a guy just because they're up. I mean, their best rookies are Matos, Bailey, and Sable.
Here's something that we have rarely, if ever, talked about is, do the Giants believe as an organization that you should platoon at the single A level, the double A level, the triple A level? Are they teaching that in the minor leagues? Or is that just the major league team that they do that? The reason I ask that is because we're seeing JD Davis is not a young guy, but he's slowing down because he's not used to, playing every day. They were preparing them to play platoon. You got a kid in Texas who's a rookie, Jung, plays every day, and he's still putting up big numbers. So are the Giants teaching at a young age, this is what we do, we platoon? Unless you're like a superstar, all-star, you're not going to play every day. Are they doing that at the lower levels?
I think they pretty much play their guys that they think are going to be major leaguers every day. Sacramento, they do a little bit of moving guys in that really aren't going to be major league players.
Yeah.
But there's a comment in here about Crawford, Eddie K. Eddie, I disagree with you. Craw not ever playing this season is not as dramatic as you want to make it sound. He can go.
No, it's dramatic.
It's okay. You cannot lose your key, your captain, so to speak, of your infield. There's a solidifying factor there, whether he's hitting or not. Brandon Crawford is a true professional, and the team relies on his leadership. And when he's out there, he's a steadying force. I don't care what you say. I feel a lot better when I know that Crawford's at short and Schmidt's at second, or Estrada there. I'm okay. You got to have veterans. You can't just have an all rookie infield. I mean, right now it's VR and Schmidt and Wisely. I mean, that's AAA. Okay.
The only problem is that knee is not going to go away. You don't get healthy at the age of 36 after suffering a knee injury.
Right.
That he's been suffering since last year. It just doesn't happen.
Well, the problem is that they've overused him again.
Yep, and it's not, like I said, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Hey, Logan,
it's just the nature of it.
We had a Chardal super chat way back. I forgot.
Oh yeah, here you go. Here you just go to the start. Here you go.
Hey, Chardal, thanks for donating. Thoughts
Thank
on
you.
Orioles acquiring Fujinami? I think it's a good move for him. Guy can throw 100, and it's another arm. You can never go wrong with having enough, another arm.
Yeah, they're getting ready for the push. That's what you got to have.
So, yeah.
The Giants are missing Estrada for sure.
Yeah.
Not only his defense has been decent, and of course his bat. He was slowing down a little bit, but yeah, they're definitely missing that bat.
It's a big loss. I understand Crawford hasn't had a stellar year, at the plate, and he's been on the IL a couple stints, but you guys that just act like he's just trash out there, you're not seeing the whole picture. I mean, Crawford is a gamer. He's a gutsy veteran. He's gonna, I don't care that he's at the end of his career. He may play another year or two after this, but it's not going to be either. It's not going to be with the Giants at all, or B, it's going to be in a very limited role if he decides he wants to retire as a Giant. But to say that
Crawford should have done, he should have gone under the knife in the offseason.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
Don't know what the issue was. I'm sure he had it looked at and they thought it could be rehab, but I don't know. So it's a situation where the Giants definitely need to do something, and I don't think they wait until the end of July at this point. When you're in a race, you're 2 games behind the Dodgers, you're right at the top of the wild card with Arizona and Florida. You don't want to wait. What do they got? They got 4 games left on this trip. Then they got 2 with the A's, that's 6, and 3 with Boston, that's 9. What do they have after Boston before the trade deadline? Colorado, or who is it?
I thought it was Colorado was the last. I think that's what we said before.
Let's take a look here.
Any update on Estrada? When is his timetable to come back?
I'm hearing August.
He's not in a rehab yet, is he?
No. Okay.
Yeah, they could use him.
No, it's not Colorado. It's after Boston. It's Arizona for 1 game, and then it turns to August 1st. So you got 10 games. Now those 10 games, you should be making some type of move like right now. You're on fumes with your lineup. And I understand Davis is probably coming back tomorrow because he had a little stomach bug for 2 days. So that'll help a lot. Wade getting back in the lineup will help a lot. I'm of the opinion that they should just, from Cincinnati, they should have just, said, okay, David, thanks for showing up on this road trip. Time to go back to Sacramento. We got you. Here's your ticket. And I don't know who you could call up, but they don't have. Either they make a roster move and create a spot for Fitzgerald if you want to bring up another infielder, or you bring up Isan Diaz from the left side, since they're facing a couple righties Friday and Saturday, or you bring up Ramos and you get some speed and another power bat, possibly right-handed bat, and you just. But I'm or Bart. I'm just not David VR right now, Eric. I think he looks very overwhelmed right now.
Yep.
Like he almost is. You see him shaking his head a lot, like dang, and there's a lot of pressure on the young man. He's got to come up. He's hitting well down at AAA. He comes up here and he feels like, okay, I'm up here. I got to produce. I got to make myself valuable to this team. I've got to do something other than just, take up a spot on the field.
Yeah, Logan, that's what I'm talking about. Dan, look at this. And here's another thing that Farhan needs to keep in mind here. When you're making a trade, you got to look about what you're going to be facing here in August after that LA series, the Angels. You got Texas for 3, Tampa for 3, a day off, Atlanta for 3, Philly for 3, then Atlanta again, and then Cincinnati. That is not going to be easy to navigate through. So you got to have a team, because you could very easily be out of the race with that schedule. You could be.
That's
if it goes south.
Starting with Texas, that's 18 games that are playoff contenders, and Cincinnati, I'm counting Cincinnati as in the playoff, and Philly. And then if you add in Arizona at the beginning of August, that's 21 of the games of August are, playoff caliber teams. And who knows where the Angels will be at that point. If they, put it together a little string, they may be in it.
Maybe.
So
it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, that's August is tough. But this team's been pretty resilient. It's interesting because they've won. Oh, can you let's mute?
Okay, you just took them out. Yeah.
Yeah. So the what I was saying is they've been pretty resilient, but at some point, these injuries, I don't think they lose. I think they win 3 out of 4 at least if they have Estrada and Wade and Davis and all these games, not even counting Haniger out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is the injuries, and everybody's got injuries. So it's not like the Giants are the only team that has injuries, and, the Dodgers have just as many. It's probably why the Dodgers are not pulled away, to be honest.
Right.
We kind of said that, though. Said for the Giants to stay in this race, we talked a little bit about it last night with Marty, is that they had to play really well and stay healthy enough, but other teams had to have things go wrong. And we heard it. St. Louis, San Diego, and the Mets have all faltered this year.
Right.
Because if you think about it, if all 3 of those teams were playing to their preseason standards or projections, the Giants would be on the outside looking in, in the wild card situation.
Yeah,
so,
that schedule where you got to play Atlanta almost back to back at home and then away, or away and then home, that's rough.
Oh, they're playing Atlanta on my birthday. Okay.
You see that? Atlanta, then Philly, a day off, and then here comes Atlanta again.
Yeah. And
And Philly, they're going to be playing hard because they're in that, trying to get a wild card spot.
The schedule will
Wow.
get tougher.
Yeah, we're looking at that. You see that in August, Los?
Yeah. God.
Texas for 3, Tampa Bay for
look at
3, Atlanta.
3 straight Thursdays they're off. The 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. What a trip.
Oh, it is weird.
Wow. I'm looking at these next Saturday games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All or afternoon or early evening games for the next 5. And then
look at that. Yeah.
And then in September, they're all of them are dang. They're all afternoon. That stinks.
I'll tell you where the Giants could make or break it. August 11 to August 23. 3 against Texas, 3 against Tampa, 3 against Atlanta, and 3 against Philly. No, I'm sorry. And then another 3 against.
Yes.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah,
back.
we already talked about that. And then Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 11th to the 30th. Woo, none of those are bad teams.
And that's what I was just, you missed it, but that's another thing I think Farhan needs to take in consideration when you're making a trade. You got to go through this gauntlet.
Yeah,
you better have the pitch. You better have the pitching.
Yep.
And yeah, exactly, Dan. All those teams can hit it. So, yeah, you might be competitive with Webb and Cobb, but they're gonna lick their chops when they see Scalfini and
3 of those teams. Texas, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta all have the highest run differential in the major leagues. If
I'm not letting them. The only time I'm letting them see Dil Scalfani is from is like if he's up in the stands.
The elite teams will bring out the best in the Giants, per Robert Rothberg. You gotta love Robert's enthusiasm and optimism. Love that about you, Robert. A little.
Yeah, Tampa is going through a spell.
Yeah, Mario said they're 500 in their last 60 games. Yeah, they're that's why you play 162 and you don't play 60 and crown yourself a world champion, Dodgers. Right. That's why I don't give it any legitimacy that season, because people said, "Oh, well, they were the best team all year." Yeah, how about the time that Florida won the was it Florida? Wait, who won Washington, 2019.
Oh, yeah.
After 60 games, they were under 500. The first 60 games of the season, they came back and won. So I don't give any credence to that 60-game World Series whatsoever.
And here's the odd thing about that Washington team that won. They won the year after their superstar Harper left.
Yep. Right.
Which gives more credibility to the point of one superstar sometimes taking off or putting on a roster doesn't just say, "Oh my God, we're going to the World Series." So,
that's
a
Soto.
lot of things have to come together to win it.
Yeah,
unless your name's Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah,
he put that team on his shoulder.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a superstar, though, if you think about it.
No, he became one after that.
I don't even think he became a superstar, to be honest with you.
He was postseason, but not
postseason. But he was never like a superstar pitcher in the regular season. He had a couple good years, but he never won 20. He never won a Cy Young. He never. He was.
He sure didn't. Man, that's.
He was one of the better pitchers in the National League in all of baseball, but he wasn't in the class of Kershaw as far as regular season.
See, and that's where they're exactly opposite, because Kershaw has amazing regular season,
right?
But shitty postseason, and then Bumgarner was okay in the regular and was outstanding in the postseason.
And which one would we rather
exactly.
have?
Oh, of course, I'll take bum on that. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, though, if you brought up a good point there, Los, about Bryce Harper leaving Washington, but they won it. They had Rendon, they had Soto.
Other guys stepped up. Yeah.
Yeah, they had other guys step up.
Patrick Corbin had a hell of a year.
Yeah, the Giants, and you look at teams this year with superstars. Let's go look at the superstars and see how their teams are doing. Angels, Ohtani, Trout, they haven't done
500.
nothing since they've ever had those two together.
Yeah.
Okay. The Mets have Francisco Lindor and who
Alonso.
else? Yeah, Alonso's a good player. I wouldn't call him a superstar, but
Scherzer, Verlander.
Scherzer, Verlander. Yeah, so those guys, and they made the playoffs last year, and San Diego made it last year. But look at San Diego this year. I mean, Bogarts isn't really a superstar, but he's up there. Tatis was considered superstar when, before he got messed up there, but and Machado's kind of in that superstar category, and so is Soto was kind of, even though he's not really played like one the last couple of years, but they have all those guys and they're not doing it. Now you go to some other teams that high priced players, they're just not performing. Carlos Correa not performing like a superstar at Minnesota. I'm just going down the list here in my head. Judge has played like a superstar, but he got hurt. Who else has signed a huge Anthony Rendon of the Angels?
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Horrible.
Javi Baez, awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of starting to think about, I don't know if I'd rather do it the Braves way. They've got some, they're not paying guys 30 plus million, but they're paying Riley and Olsen and a couple guys in the 20s.
And their player development and their understanding of what they're seeing, they got something going on because they got these guys coming up all over the place.
Tampa Bay.
Well,
Tampa Bay, same.
Didn't they sign Wander Franco to a big contract already?
Yep.
Did Seattle sign Julio Rodriguez to a big contract?
I think they did.
Yes.
This offseason.
After 1 year. They
right.
did to him what the Braves did with Acuna.
Yes.
Right.
They just didn't wait for him to be a superstar. They we see you're talented. We're going to sign you for a reasonable contract.
Right.
See, when you give a guy
Giants did that with Posey.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were the first, really.
Yeah. If you're going to give a guy a 9 or 10 year contract, give it to them when they're 21 and 22, not when they're 28, 29.
Yeah. I think
because you're just going to get burned the last 5 years. It's just bad economics.
Giants were one of the first teams to do that, weren't they? In a while, because they did Posey after the 2011 or 12 season. They gave him a 10-year deal.
Was it 10? I thought it was a 5. I could be wrong. Was it 10?
Or was it 8? It was at least 8. I thought it was 8 or 10.
Yeah, it's something. I know they extended them. Yeah, I remember.
So think about what the Dodgers have done in the offseason. They let Trey Turner walk. They let Justin Turner walk. They let Clay Bellinger walk. Am I missing anybody?
Not Clay, but Cody. Clay's his dad.
Cody. Man, me and names. Man, God. I can't even get a first name right. Shit. Okay, so
Kiki Hernandez left.
You guys get the point I'm trying to make. So the point I'm trying to make is they let 3 pretty good players walk, and there's a
reason. And there's a reason why they did that.
Bingo.
Ohtani?
And that's what I think the Giants are reluctant to do. They will not let go of a guy like Slater because they love him, using a brother love.
A brother love. I got that. That was good.
So they won't let go of a Slater. They won't let go of a Yaz. They won't let go of a Wade. Where the Dodgers have been like, you guys were great. You guys are cool, but we got people in the farm system that can come up, be way cheaper. I mean, nobody's going to give Trey Turner's production. That dude's a superstar.
I mean,
but they let him go, and they're still playing well.
I mean, about one of the only superstars that's been performing to his contract has been Bryce Harper and maybe Mookie Betts.
Yeah,
Mookie Betts, definitely.
And Freeman is Freeman is owning up to his contract.
Matt Olson's
Matt
not
Olson,
doing too bad.
Yeah,
the
Matt
Rays.
Olson. But let's look down the rest of the
If you
list.
if you were to list the top 20 salaries in baseball, I don't know if you could do that.
Arenado's doing pretty good.
I bet you 14 to 15 of them are busts out of 20.
Let me see
I
if
would
can,
almost bet that.
Let me see if I can find that.
Top 20 salaries in baseball, and we can just
Right.
go one by one. Like, are they earning their salary? I can almost guarantee that's going to be 15 to 16.
I got a book behind me that has, Brian Kinney. He wrote a book and he broke down how many of the $100 million contracts succeeded or failed. And it's like majority of them failed. There's only a few that.
Exactly.
All right.
And I'm really surprised GMs are not more hip to that, to giving out those long-term deals. But
here's a question. They put this out the other day. Do you think Ohtani beats Judge's American League record in home runs?
I don't think he.
Where's he at right now?
35.
Oh, 35? No,
I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
All right.
There he was on a rip though. I think he was hitting like one a day for like a damn week.
You know what's funny? When Dan finds this list, like 10 of the players are going to be starting pitchers.
All right, we got it.
Highest paid.
You ready?
Yeah,
you guys
Scherzer.
He's not.
Scherzer, definitely no. Verlander, no. I mean, this year, Judge, no. Rendon, hell no.
Right. Trout not
no.
really.
Cole's the first guy to say yes.
Okay. Corey Seager, yes, this year.
Correa, no.
Well, we're just going by this year. We're gonna have to go through the length of the contract though.
Two out of 8 so far. Arenado's pretty good. 3 out of 8. Strasburg. Forget that. Lindor, no. Cabrera, no. Stanton,
Miguel
no.
Cabrera, wow, no. Stanton, no.
Bregman, no. Ohtani is a big yes. DeGrom,
yes.
No. He's hurt. Altuve's been hurt. Chris Bryant, a definite big no. Harper, no. Yes. Trey Turner, no. He's not having a good year. Marcus Semien is. Bogarts isn't holding up. I think Goldschmidt has done well. I don't know how he's doing this year. Freddie Freeman looks like a bargain there, doesn't he?
That's one dude that is steady year in and year out, no matter who he plays with. That is an anomaly. An anomaly.
Yeah. Look at these salaries.
Stroman's I wanted the Giants to get him so bad.
Yeah.
Because you know
Stroman's
what you get.
Stroman's having a good year.
Joey Votto's making $25 million, all 5 homers that he has in that tiny ass ballpark. Patrick Corbin is almost making $25 million.
Yelich, no. I mean, oh my goodness.
All right, listen to this, guys.
I rest my case.
Here we go. We're gonna take a trip down history lane here, or memory lane.
Guilty.
100 million free agent contracts. All right, we're gonna go right down the list here.
Hey, you just we were finishing this one though. We
well, that's like those are deals that happen like right now and then currently going on, right?
Yeah, we're just looking at them right now though, seeing guys who are actually living up to their numbers.
I think there's some guys on there that even know. Jason Hayward, guys.
Jason Hayward, yep. That was actually
Jason Hayward.
That wasn't from the Dodgers. That came over from the Cubs, right?
Well, you know, when you look at this, Los and Eric, it makes me not want to really go after a lot of big, just
that is the
that's always my point. Look at
Gosman.
Look at
Gosman. You could have had Gosman, man, for that money. Gosh. Story's doing nothing.
Making 21 mil.
Marte's
Robbie Ray's out
doing
for
nothing.
the year.
Yeah, Robbie Ray.
Out for the year.
Man, I'm
Trevor Story.
Hey,
John Ryu is making 20 million. Wow, they are just giving money away.
Have we seen any Tampa Rays or Baltimore Orioles on here?
No, great point. Great point.
And
No, and you
They
won't.
don't.
and they
Tampa
have
Bay probably does it better than anybody.
that's just the top 50 kind of right there. There's some
Yeah.
tides. So no Rays, no Orioles, and
Definitely
those
no
are-
Oakland A's.
But the point is the A's, I mean, the Orioles and the Rays, the top two teams in the American League, along with Texas. Texas had a couple guys in there, Seager and Simeon. But what do you got there, Eric? The 100.
Yeah, it's the $100 million free agent contracts. This book was published in 2016. So some of these he's got inconclusive because they're right in the middle of the deal. So it's hard to tell. But a lot of these, he determines whether they're a good or bad contract. This is Brian Kenny, from the MLB Network.
This is published in 16?
2016.
Well, these guys aren't hardly in the league anymore then, some of them.
Yeah, but he's just talking about what
Yeah.
$100 million contracts and how they panned out when they had
Oh, I
them.
see.
Which
So
at the
Today,
time-
Kevin
today
Brown-
you'd have to make it like a 300 million contract.
Yeah. Kevin Brown, when he played from 1999 to 2005, it was 7 years. It was a $105 million contract. It was his ages 34 to 40 years. His average WAR was 3.3. It was a good contract, according to Brian Kinney. Mike Hampton from 2001 to 2008.
Colorado.
It was an 8-year deal, 121. His WAR was 0.5. Bad contract. Manny Ramirez, he got paid $160 million for 8 years from 2001 to 2008. 4.6 WAR, that was a good contract. Alex Rodriguez, the 2001 to 2010 to 252 one, because I think he's got a couple of them in here, if I'm not mistaken, because of the Yankees. That was a good contract. Jason Giambi was a good contract. That was $120 million. Carlos Beltran from 2005 to 2011, $119 million. That was a good contract. Daisuke Matsuzuka, you remember him?
Yeah, Boston, right?
Bad. He was 103. Carlos Lee, remember?
Milwaukee.
He had a 6-year, $100 million. It was a bad contract. Barry Zito, bad. Matter of fact, I think he's rated the lowest out of the cumulative WAR. He was like 0.4 in WAR. Alfonso Soriano, remember him?
He had a nice little run.
Yeah, but his contract is bad. 136 million. CC Sabathia, that was a good one. Mark Teixeira, that was bad. Matt Holliday, Cliff Lee, those are good. Carl Crawford, remember him?
Oh,
$142 million. I remember that contract. That was from 2011 to 2017. That was a bad contract. That's the second CC Sabathia contract from 12 to 16. Yeah, that was a bad one. Jose Reyes, Prince Fielder, that was a bad one. Albert Pujols, of course, that one was bad. That was $254 million. But if you could see, out of all of these, it's about fit, man. It's actually maybe more bad than good when you get into these. So basically, at this time of the publishing of the book, 100 million was kind of like the I can't even say that word, is the line of that where they drew as far as a big contract is concerned. Of course, that's inflated a lot since then, but it just shows you that these types of contracts stink.
Let's just go with the young guys, Let's go.
But you got to know how to do that. That's the problem.
Elliot Ramos tonight, by the way, 3 for 4 with a double and a triple.
Good.
Batting 310, 1 RBI. Marco Luciano 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts. So he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. The next 2, I don't know what he did, but he got a hit on one of them. Those are the names. Joey Bart, 0 for 4. Fitzgerald, 3 for 4. So 3 for 4 for both Ramos and Fitzgerald. To me, those look like a couple guys that, either going to be possibly up on the team at some point or in some type of deal. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to keep seeing rookies play. but
Yeah.
I would definitely think Fitzgerald would give you more versatility than David VR.
Yeah.
I mean, Fitzgerald could play third, short, second. See, he could play short. VR can't play short at all. And Fitzgerald could give you some time in the outfield as well, out in center.
Is Meckler a corner outfielder or a center fielder?
I think he's all three, I believe, but I think they've been having him in the corner. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you how he did tonight.
And does he have any speed?
I believe so.
So
Tonight,
wouldn't it be kind of nice to have Meckler and Matos at the top of the lineup? Those
yeah,
are two fast guys.
Meckler was in right field tonight. Went 1 for 4.
What's he hitting?
342.
Oh, I love it.
342 in Double-A is impressive.
But he did get promoted. That's what I don't understand.
Well,
he's the guy that deserved the promotion.
I'm telling you, when I hear over,
why do you say that though? He deserves a promotion. He just got promoted.
He's been hitting the shit out of the ball in Double-A. Meckler?
Yeah, but promoted over who? Luciano?
Yeah. I think he should have gone up to AAA before Luciano.
But you got to see the big picture, what they're doing.
I get what they're doing. I'm just talking about
Plus, they don't need an outfielder. They may need just to have because Luciano's on the 40. So the fact that he's on the 40, he could be called up to tomorrow.
I'm just going to
take it. Send VR down, and you don't have to make a roster move.
All things being equal, and you're basing it on just performance, I think Meckler deserves it more. But because of the position that Luciano is in,
right? Because
of his position and what the team need, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So,
would you rather both still have Slater on the big league team, or would you rather give Meckler?
I mean, he's contributing when he's against the lefty. I mean,
he rakes against lefties.
He's a specialized player. That's what he's good for. He hits lefties. I guess he's good from a pinch hitting point of view. He'll be our 2023 Joel Youngblood.
Oh yes, that
Remember
kid.
Joel?
Joel they don't have a whole lot.
Pinch hitter.
McRae's at Eugene. He's hitting 241. He went 1 for 3 tonight.
Damn, I like McRae.
Yeah, I don't know. Arteaga only hitting 219, went 2 for 4, so he raised his average probably 5-6 points and is only at 219. But
Logan just
there it is.
Logan
see that?
He's hitting 393
overall.
No. I think that's not because
that must be overall. That must be overall counting Eugene.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a full year.
I'd like to see a few more stolen bases than 5, but I love the
he's
batting
not
average.
A fast guy. He's a good base runner, but he's not got speed. That's how
he's probably a better number 2 hitter. Doesn't strike out a lot. Puts
Probably
the ball in play.
Lead off or second. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's overall counting Eugene. That's what Logan's saying.
993 OPS. I like it. How old is that kid?
He's older, 24, I think.
Okay.
They're not going to DFA VR like somebody said DFA VR. They'll just send him down. He's got options. You could, if you needed a roster spot, you could DFA a VR, but you run the risk if you think he's got potential and he can maybe put it together like a Matt Williams, because he did have a ton of power and was Double-A Player of the Year 2 years ago and Triple-A Player of the Year last year. If you think he just needs a little more seasoning, you probably don't.
VR?
He's 26, I believe. Let me check. He's either 25 or 26. I think he's let me pull it up here. David VR is 26. Yeah. So
getting kind of long in the tooth there.
You give him another year or so, see if he can put it together.
Yeah. Justin says VR has one option left. Remember we were talking about that.
Yeah.
That's it.
So-
They can send him down one more time, and then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Luciano is says Luciano 21, youngest player in AAA, I believe. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he is about the youngest, which is, give Luciano some time here to grow.
And I just hope
Ramos is only 23. A lot of people
Yeah.
say, well, giving up on Ramos, he's been because we've been talking about him for 6-7 years.
exactly right.
He was drafted in 17
Yeah,
as
long
the
time
number
ago.
one draft pick, and he's like, that was 6 years ago when he was only 17.
Right.
So give him time to develop. It takes time. I think he's got some tools.
The only thing I worry about Luciano, we talked about this before, is that back. I just hope that back is not an issue.
He says he's fine now, but of course,
Yeah, they're all going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a trade proposal to the White Sox. I got Villar, Bart, Slater, and Bender because I don't want to give up Wisenhunt, Harrison, or Black. Villar, Bart, Slater, and Bender for Luis Robert and Giolito.
They'll
Yay or
say
nay?
no. They'll say no.
Is Luis
Not enough?
Robert? Luis Robert is under control, I believe, isn't he?
The White Sox would say no, Eric?
Yeah, I think so. They're going to want young prospects. They ain't going to want major league players.
Well,
Yeah.
Villar and Bart Villar's not young.
Yeah, but you're not
Well,
giving
Bart,
it. You're not.
maybe.
Yeah, I thought
Bart,
Bart.
I could see Bart part of it, but I don't think it's going to move the needle with VR or Bednar or even Slater. I don't think honestly, I don't think the Giants would even offer up Slater. I don't see that happening.
I'm just trying to throw him in to create an outfield spot for Robert. Okay, so if Bender doesn't do it, it might take Wisenhunt or Black
Yeah, maybe if you want Giolito and who?
and Luis Robert.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to give up more. I think.
And I'm throwing Bart in there to see like who really thinks Bart could be something special and be an everyday catcher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bednar's hurt. Forgot about that. So yeah, that's.
Oh, Bender's hurt. Okay, so yeah, it would have to be another pitcher in the system. They're going to probably want Harrison or Wisenhunt.
Yeah, that's or Luciano.
You don't give up Harrison for that, no, because
Yeah.
Giolito's a rental.
Yeah.
And
But Luis
Robert could be, a good guy to have. I liked him earlier in the year when he was only had about 12 home runs. I was saying go get him, and the guy's just taken off. I mean, man,
I don't see Farhan doing this early stuff that we were talking about last night. He's going to wait to the last minute.
can we tone down on what a superstar is?
Yeah, he's a good player, but he's not a superstar.
Yeah, I mean, if I threw up his stats for, he is definitely not a superstar. Does he have potential to be something like that? Yeah, but I mean, let me pull up Luis Robert here. Where are you, Luis Robert? He's hitting 275 this year. He is how old is he? He is
28 homers.
He's
25.
25. He's got potential to become that.
Yeah, you might have to throw in one of those big three pitchers. I mean,
we can look at his stats right here.
I thought Robert was a little older. He's still young.
Wow.
Yeah.
900 OPS.
Yeah.
He's got potential. I mean, his previous
year, I would say this year you could be in a superstar category, but as far as this entire career, no.
Right. Yeah. To be a superstar, you got to do it year after year.
For a while. Correct.
Yeah. He's a very good player having a very good year.
But he should be an all-star, and he will be an all-star. But he's got that potential.
And he's still on his rookie contract, right?
Yeah, look, 338 in 21,
21 he had a great
275.
year,
So, and he's, this year 28 homers breaking out. it's going to take a lot to get a guy like that because Chicago is going to want to build around him.
Yep.
So I don't think he's probably even available.
I don't think he's available.
Hey, he's another August birthday, man. Have a lot of those, right, Dan?
Did someone say birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Luis Robert though. Yeah. I saw him play down here when he was just coming up because good friend of mine, his son played in the White Sox organization, and Luis Robert, man, he's a big kid. But yeah, it would take a lot to get him because he's so young and controllable. I think you'd have to give up a ton. You'd be talking Harrison and Luciano and somebody else. And that would be even questionable if they do it.
Well, what I like about that, Dan, in trading for Robert is that's not just a move to let's do it this year. That's a move.
Oh, yeah.
That's a move to this year, next year, the next 5 years.
But then you're going to give up Luciano, Harrison, and
you got to give up somebody good to get somebody good.
Yeah, and you're going to give up probably another prospect or two. Yeah,
the Giants haven't had a really dominant center fielder in a long time, and if Robert can keep doing what he's doing, center field's locked up. Then you don't got to worry about them. No more Slater and Yaz platoon. Robert's our center fielder for the next 5 years. I'd be willing to give up one of our pitching prospects. For
I don't know
a proven major league player.
I don't know where they're going to have with Matos. With Matos, and then you also have Von Brown, who's supposed to be maybe the center fielder of the future, is the guy they like with all the tools.
If Robert has a good arm,
speed and power.
If Robert has a good arm, maybe he could be your right fielder. Because in that ballpark, you need to cover a lot of ground with right center.
Yeah.
The Giants have had their best outfields when they had 3 center fielders playing out there. They covered a lot of ground.
Yep.
And so you get Robert and you say, hey, we're going to, move you to right field because we really like Matos in center. You get a left fielder that can cover ground. That's a hell of a defensive outfield. Who's
one of the most who's grown on me a lot is especially defensively. As a defensive outfielder, I feel very comfortable when the ball's hit anywhere near Yaz's direction. That guy is a really good defensive outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
He can go get it. He doesn't have a cannon for an arm, but he's got a very accurate arm. He throws strikes.
Yaz has definitely grown on me this year. I was not a fan of him, but he's had a solid year, and you're right. He's a very good defensive outfielder.
This is interesting.
I just don't like him as a starter. I like him as a spot starter, like fourth outfielder. I just want like superstars or good players, I should say, really good players in my outfield. Yaz is a pretty good player.
I think Brown is in there's some talk about Brown being 25 in AA. He started late. He's developed kind of a late bloomer. Will Clark is super high on him. If Will Clark's high on him, I'm high on him. He's a guy the farm system really loves. Kyle Haynes is super high on him. I think Von Brown is maybe one of their sleepers. I predict Von Brown will be up in the big leagues next year. I think he's going to AAA in 2 to 3 weeks, and he's going to be pushing, the door to be on the opening day roster next year. I mean, I'm fine if the Giants just went all young and just really.
Me too. Me too. I really am.
I mean, it's nice that they're in the race and everything, but I mean, I love the way Baltimore's, just supplementing a couple of guys that are some vets, but they just got so many young guys
but young guys who are producing, not just young guys.
Yeah, right. Ooh, we got some calm down, Shardal, Bora says. And Shardal comes back. Don't ask me to calm down, Bora. Let's bring Bora and Shardal in and close this thing out with a ready to rumble.
Ding, 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 ding. Wrestling in this corner, weighing 172 pounds. The famous flying Stardal. And in the other corner, wearing the pinstripe trunks, is Bora Bora.
Do we have Shardal coming in here? He is the famous one. And here he is with his famous call. It's Shardal. And Bora. Where's Bora? Ooh, Shardal, I'll give you a black eye. Woo!
Ooh, fighting words. Wow, we're getting a little feisty.
Wow.
Fly Doll going up to welterweight. Nice.
The war is coming. The war is coming.
Yeah. Graves says he doesn't think he'll bring up any more rookies, that he'll go for a vet. I'll give you a little clue in here. I think Farhan is secretly already signed into next year and beyond. I know. I don't think his contract is expiring this year. I almost can be rest assured. I believe he's got another year or two. He's not a lame duck guy when you've got your manager signed beyond the managers never sign beyond the GM. So anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of beat, and we've been going an hour and almost 40 minutes. You guys got anything to add, or want to keep going, or?
No, I got nothing to add. I'm good.
We covered a lot.
All right. So tomorrow night, the Giants take on the Washington Nationals. Game time is at 4:05. Hold on, let me see here. What time is the game time?
Yeah, 4:05. I think they said.
Okay, 4:05. So look for us tomorrow night about 7:00. We'll do the Giants post game. On the mound for the Giants is Alex Wood. He goes up against Jake Irvin, who's got a 4.96 ERAs, 2-5. Alex Wood 4-3. So hopefully JD Davis is back and Lamont Wade, and the Giants get back to their winning ways. Thanks for joining, everybody. Thank you to Eric on the board and does all these great thumbnails. He puts them all together, runs the board. Los
does a good job.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And just want to thank everybody for joining. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. Helps with our algorithms. Just tap on that like button for us. Hit subscribe. I'm sure most of you already subscribed, but hey, subscribe again. No, don't hit subscribe, because if you hit subscribe and hit it again and don't do anything else, it actually unsubscribes you. We don't want that. So, no, but tell your friends and family about, if they're Giants fans, this is where to find Giants content. So for Eric and for Los,